everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I've got some super fun, easy DIYs to share with you that are gingerbread themed. So if you want to know how to make them, stick around. I'll show you how. And be sure and give me a like because it really does help my channel. And if you're not subscribed, be sure and subscribe and ring that bell so you're notified when I have a new video upload. Thank y'all so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Okay, I'm starting with 2 of the little Hobby Lobby cutting boards, and I'm just cutting all the strings off of them. Then I took my Cricut, I made the lettering Gingerbread Cookie Co., and I'm going to put it onto the bottom of each one of these. Now, I'll give you the artwork for all the stuff I did today in the description below. I got this little gingerbread kit on Amazon. You get 12 to a pack, and they're all baking themed. Okay, I'm cutting the loop off the top of them first, and then I'm going to glue these to the board, and I'm going to add a couple little peppermints that I got on Amazon. I'll give you the link for all these, and I'm going to use E6000 glue and hot glue to attach these. Now, I've used these little gingerbread guys in the past. If you don't use E6000 glue, the hot glue will eventually release because the back of them are so slick. So be sure and use some E6000 glue as well as some hot glue to attach these. And then same with the peppermint, I used E6000 glue and hot glue on those as well. I'm making a bow. I'm going to do a little loop. I'm going to glue it right there, and then I'm going to do another loop over the top part of there, glue it in. Just make sure that your loops are even, and we're going to have 2 loops on each side. And then on the last loop, loop it over and then run the little tail over the front to come on down to match the other tail on the opposite side. And then I'm just gluing it right to the very top part. I got these little gingerbread men at Hobby Lobby, and I'm just pushing it right onto that. They already have an adhesive strip on them. I think these turned out so cute. These would really be good for gifts, and you could personalize them with somebody's name on them. Let me know what you think in the comments. Next one, I'm taking 3 Christmas tree shapes I got from Amazon, and I'm going to mix 2 colors of paint together to kind of get a gingerbread color. I'm using a chestnut color and a warm brown color, and I'm going to mix them real close to even on these. Painting all 3 of these trees exactly the same color, the front, the back, and the bottom. Next, I'm going to decorate these with some white puff paint. And I'm going to kind of go fast, but so you'll be able to see what I'm doing. But I'm just kind of going real lightly. Don't squeeze so much. The harder you squeeze on a puff paint, the more fatter it comes out. So just kind of take your time on this part. If you've never played with puff paint, I'd suggest you get some because it was really fun to work with. And this is where you can really customize it, make it your own. And I think these little trees would be cute as gifts as well. You could put somebody's name on them and gift them. And if you're not really sure how you want to design these, look online at some other gingerbread houses and some other gingerbread things, and you can get some pretty good ideas. I looked at Pottery Barn. They have a lot of gingerbread this year, and you can get some good ideas for how you want to decorate these. But you do not need to let this dry real good after you're finished, so don't touch them. Then I went back to the first one and did a little bit of squiggly lines on it just to kind of get a little bit in the center. And then I'm putting a few little dots here and there. And I went back in on the second tree and did something very similar with some dots. Mount the trees, I'm taking a piece of wood that measures 9 inches by 3.5 inches, and I'm taking some little wooden blocks that measure about a 1/2 inch square, and I'm painting them with that same color terracotta paint. To assemble them, I'm going to use some E6000 glue and some hot glue, and I'm just putting a pretty good sized dollop on the top part of these little blocks. And these are going to attach right to the bottom of the trees. Just kind of center it into the bottom and then hold it and push it up there where it's pretty flat against it. Do the same thing with the other 2 trees. Dry, we're going to go ahead and mount them, and I'm just using the E6000 glue again, and I'm going to stagger these. I'm going to put this one, the back one, kind of offset in the center here, a little bit to the left of it or the right of it, and then I'm going to add the other one in the middle and then that one in the front. Just kind of stagger them so that they are separated. And I'm sorry I got out of the picture just a little bit, but I think you can see exactly what I'm doing. Okay, and then that's how that looks. And then we're going to add some puff paint just around the base of it to make it look like there's snow on the ground, and just to cover up any of that glue that you have that's showing underneath those trees. And I'm just going around just the base on all of these. And that's how that turned out, just something kind of simple. Hey, this one was just something super simple. You could decorate it up a little bit more if you wanted to by putting some greenery on the base. Let me know what you think in the comments. For this one, I'm using one of the Dollar Tree cookie sheets, and I'm using some red chalk spray paint. And I'm just going to spray paint the entire thing red. To dress up my tray, I just cut this lettering out with my Cricut. It just says Gingerbread Cookie Co. And I've given you the link for it in the description below if you want to use it as well. Now, you could also stencil this if you don't have a Cricut. And then I'm taking those same little gingerbread men, I'm cutting the little tabs off the top, and I'm going to use some E6000 glue and some hot glue to attach these to my tray. This was a quick and easy project. Okay, then I got these little peppermints on Amazon, and I'm just going to hot glue these right to my tray. I think this one turned out super cute. This would be definitely a great Christmas gift for somebody. And now if you're going to put food on it, be sure and put it on a plate and then put it on this tray, not straight onto the tray. Let me know what you think. Okay, for this next one, I'm just using some gingerbread cookie cutters and some air dry clay in the color brown. And I'll give you the link for all these. Just push your cookie cutter down on there and then just kind of wiggle it a little bit. And then you can get the rest of the dough around it off of there pretty easily. And then I'm going to make some smaller ones. These actually came in a set. These smaller ones, they kind of tiered down different sizes. And then smooth out your edges before they dry. Just kind of take it out of the cookie cutter. Just kind of run your finger along the edges just to make sure everything is smooth, and then let these all dry. After you let these dry real well, just go ahead and take some puff paint and just start decorating them. Now, there's no rhyme or reason how to do this. Just kind of decorate it however you want to. Okay, this was a fun little project. If you've never worked with puff paint before, I would highly recommend getting some because it was really fun to use. And the harder you squeeze it, the more it comes out. And if you're a little bit soft on it, you can get a lot of detail with this. And they make these in a lot of different colors, so if you want to do other projects with it, they have kits that you can purchase. But even the little small guy, you can see how much detail you can get with this one little deal. You just cut the tip of it off when you get it, and I cut mine off pretty fine. And then just set these aside and let them dry for probably about at least an hour. Okay, and then you can just put them on your tray to make it look like little cookies. Look how cute that is. These were super simple, and you could make a lot of these for some different crafting ideas. You could actually put a lot of them together, the different sizes, and make a wreath. Let me know what you think in the comments. For this one, I'm using one of the Hobby Lobby ornaments. This is a fillable ornament. It measures 3.5 inches in diameter. And then I'm mixing up that same color paint that I did earlier for the trees to paint this. And then I decided to go back in with just the warm brown to paint the entire thing. It looked a little bit better. Then I'm taking a pencil and I'm going to freehand my eyes on here. I would recommend doing it first with a pencil, and then you can go back with a marker to highlight it better. Okay, and then I just curved my eyes in at the top a little bit, and then I'm going to kind of go fast through this, but you can see what I'm doing. And I'm just filling it in with some black paint instead of using just the marker, because if you use just the marker, it almost looks a little bit purple by itself. And I'm using several paint brushes on this. You can use a fine brush and then a larger brush to kind of fill in, but it does work better if you do use a couple different brushes on this. Okay, then I'm taking some white paint and I'm just doing a little curve right around the bottom edge. And then I'm going to take the tip of my paintbrush, dip it into the white paint to give some little dots at the top and along the bottom edge. I'm just not loading my paintbrush as much right here, just a little dot on both sides. And then I'm using a fine paintbrush to paint in some little eyelashes. And then I'm adding two little curved lines right at the top for the eyebrows. Okay, for the nose, I'm just doing like a little pea-sized oval shape, and I'm going to paint that in with some red paint. Then to give it a little highlight, I'm just adding a little bit of white right at the top. And then just add a little mouth. And then I'm going to paint back over my line with some black paint. And then I'm going to draw two little lines out to the side for the mouth. To add some rosy cheeks, I'm going to take some Distressing Oxide by Tim Holtz, and I'm just going to rub it right in a little circle on both sides of the cheeks. I'm taking some white Rick Rack and I'm just outlining a circle around the face. Then I'm taking some ribbon and I'm going to make a double loop on both sides. Just kind of wrapping it around and going over the top part again. And then I'm going to tie it off in the center with another piece of ribbon. Just glue it in. And then I'm going to hot glue it to her face, just kind of at a diagonal. And then I'm going to glue the top part of the ornament to the ornament itself. Okay, then I got this little ruffle at Hobby Lobby. I'm just making a skirt, so I'm getting it big enough just to go around the body. Now disregard the stick that's stuck in there. I went a different route on that. And I'm just gluing this around so that it's open and a little bit more full all the way around. Dress her up a little bit. I'm going to take a little ribbon. I'm going to glue it into the back and on the sides and tie it into a bow on the front. My stand, I'm going to take one of the Dollar Tree candlestick holders and I'm going to paint it with a red chalk paint. Dress this up a little bit. I'm taking some of the little gingerbread men I got at Hobby Lobby and I'm going to put 4 of them around the bottom of the base. Taking some of the white puff paint and I'm just going to put a dot right between each one of those. I'm just going to attach my ornament to my candlestick holder with just some hot glue. But you want to put plenty on there. All right, look how cute that turned out. I think this one turned out super cute. Let me know what you think. And if you've made it this far into the video, be sure and comment #gingerbread. This last one, I'm using a flower pot that measures 2.5 inches in diameter, one that measures 1 3/4 and 1 1/4. I'm painting them a gingerbread color. Assemble them, I'm just going to use some E6000 glue and hot glue right around the inside ledge of each one of these. Just put it right along that ledge, and then when you put it over to the top of the next flower pot, it'll grab on there real quick. Just kind of line it up and just make sure that they are straight. And then put the little one on top just the same way with the E6000 glue and the hot glue. Just try not to get it oozing out. You want to clean up any that is oozing out because you will see it. I'm going to take some of the same little gingerbread guys I did earlier and I'm going to put 4 of these on here. These come with an adhesive strip on the back of them, but that one actually peeled off, so you may have to glue some. Okay, then I got these ornaments at Hobby Lobby. They were full of candy canes and peppermints, and you get quite a few in a package of these, and they ended up being like $2.50 a piece. Okay, I'm going to start with the candy canes. I'm just going to put one between each one of the little gingerbread men, and I'm kind of angling it a little bit. And I have seen some candy canes and some little mints on Amazon too, so if you can't find them at Hobby Lobby, check Amazon as well. Okay, then for the center flower pot, I'm going to put some little peppermints, and I'm putting 5 of these around the edges of it. And to make it look like snow, I'm just coming around here with this puff paint. I'm just going to kind of go up and down a little bit just to kind of make it look like it's dripped. And you probably don't want to make it so uniform. I mean, I stopped doing it so perfect after I got going on it, but just kind of go all the way around it, and we're going to do the second layer as well. This stuff was really fun to play with. This is really the second time I played with the puff paint, but I really like it. Okay, then I'm going to do the same thing around the middle edge. And I started doing some that were shorter and some that were longer to kind of make it look a little bit more realistic. The same thing for the next ledge. Now, I wish I had taken some of the diamond dust and then sprinkled it on here while this was still a bit wet, but I didn't think about it until afterwards. But you might want to think about kind of putting a little bit of a little sparkle in there. For the top, I'm going to put a little E6000 glue and a little bit of hot glue on there, and I'm going to put one of the little gingerbread men kind of at an angle, like standing at an angle on one foot. And then I'm going to let that dry real well. Okay, after that dried, I'm just going to come back in here with the same puff paint, and I'm going to put some little snow around this one as well. It was a little bit of a challenge not to touch the puff paint, because if you touch it, you mess it up. So just remember that. I think this one turned out super cute. You can decorate this so many different ways. If you decorate with gingerbread, leave it in the comment. I'd love to hear from you. Okay, for this one, I'm using a 2.5-inch foam dice that I got on Amazon, and I'm painting it with the gingerbread color. Then I figured out if you put a dowel stick into the bottom of it, it made it a little bit easier to paint. Okay, then I'm going to freehand a little face on here with a pencil. I'm starting with my little nose and my mouth, and that way I can get my eyes in the position where I want them. And I'm just going to make a little hump right there and then draw a little curve around there for the eyes. And then I'm coming back in with a black Sharpie paint pen, and I'm going to color all this in. And that's not a Sharpie marker, it's actually a Sharpie paint pen. Okay, and then I'm just coloring in the pupil in black, and I'm going to do a second one exactly the same way, except I'm going to give it a little bit of a wink. And then I'm painting in the other part of the eye with just some white paint. Then I'm taking a 2-inch styrofoam ball, and I'm just cutting off half of it. And then I'm going to hot glue it to the top part of my dice. Just make sure you do get it centered. I'm taking the white puff paint, and I'm just making some little swirls around the top part like icing is dripping down his face. And then you want to let those dry for at least 4 hours. Next, I'm taking a piping bag and a number 2 flower tip, just pushing it right down into the end of my little bag there. I'm going to take a cup to put this into so I can fill it up, and I'm using the Fast and Final spackling to fill this up. This is the best one, and you can get this on Amazon or you can get this at Lowe's and Home Depot, but the Fast and Final is the best. And just go ahead and fill your bag up, and then I'm going to tie it off with a rubber band. And then the ices, you're going to do just like you would a cupcake. Just kind of take your time on that. I'm just applying even pressure as I'm going around there. And you want to get it all the way up to the top and add a little bit of extra at the top because we are going to embellish this. So you'll need some places for this to put your little embellishments in. And then I'm just putting some little peppermints in there, a couple little candy canes. I'm going to use a couple little gingerbread men. And then I'm going to sprinkle it with some little sprinkles that I got from Amazon. It's just a little gingerbread pack. And then I'm going to put a little bit of glitter on top of it, and then you need to put it aside and let it dry for 24 hours. And I wanted to share these little paint pens with you. I got these on Amazon. They paint really well. I didn't figure these out until after I'd already done my little guys, but these paint pens work so good, you don't even have to use regular paint. Okay, and then I'm just going to add a bow to the top part of it, and I'm doing a 2-loop bow. Just kind of come around there, cross it over, do another loop, And then I'm going to take another little piece of ribbon to tie around the middle of it to hold it all together. Okay, and then I'm just going to hot glue it right to the top part. Hey, all of these turned out super cute today. These were super easy to make. I think a lot of these would make great craft fair sellers as well as great Christmas gifts for your friends and your family. If you liked the video today, be sure and give me a like, subscribe, and ring that bell to be notified so you don't miss out on any more videos. Thank y'all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And if nobody's told you today, you're awesome. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.